Welcome to this short introduction video, which will show you how to evolve an idea, how to evaluate ideas, and how to develop a concept out of it. In this video, we will see content about idea exploration using the 9-view screen, idea evaluation using a very simple portfolio, and idea to concept creation using the Canvas template. In an overall innovation process, we're in the area of idea finding and concepts and deciding. So to speak, in an innovation process, we're in the area of idea finding here with our 9-view screen, and we are in the evaluation phase in between the idea finding and the concepts and deciding, and we are in creating concepts again here in the concepts session. Of course, as you see, you need after every step again an evaluation which idea or which concept you want to follow on further. The 9-view screen is now our first tool in the idea exploration. The 9-view screen allows us to develop new ideas by 2 dimensions. The first is space or system dimension, and the second is the time aspect. More on the next slides. Normally, we are very used to the zoom in perspective. Zoom in means let's have a look on the details. Let's go inside the service. Let's go inside the product we provide. You can compare it with the detailed plan of a house, for instance, or if we have another product, the components which a product is made of. What the 9-view screen also recommends is that this is not the only opportunity to explore more ideas around your existing product or service, or in that case invention. It also recommends to have the zoom out perspective. Zoom out means what is there on our customer level? What are the questions there? What is our customer doing while using the service or product? Where is he included? Let's have a picture here. It is more the overall map. So where is our, for instance, house located? Which services should we provide? Which people may travel to our destination or so on. So have a real super system view, as we say. This is the zoom out super system perspective. This is the subsystem perspective. This would be zoom in, and normally with our product or service we are here on the system level. The second dimension in the 9-view screen is the time dimension. So we have a before use section and a after use section, and it's about what is the customer doing before he or she is purchasing our product. This is more or less the before use, or what is our product or service doing after its usage. It's here. It's with this simple example. For instance, you're providing a product which is used in the kitchen or even a meal. You can think of what is the customer doing before using our product, maybe buying the goods or working with them, or what is he or she doing after the usage. So this means the resource perspective out of recycling or so on. And before use and after use is also thought about in the super system, system and subsystem section. You see it here also for the after use section here. This is the reason why tool is called the 9-view screen, because out of the lines and the columns for super system, system, subsystem and before use to after use, the tool is built up on 9 views, or so to say 9 screens with different questions you can ask yourself to explore your product or service or idea or invention more deeply. Let's create an easy example. For instance, you're the producer of this bottled water seen here in the middle. You want to think about new ideas, what you can innovate around your product. So if you're using our zoom in and zoom out perspective, we can think about the super system maybe first. So what could your product be used for in the world of the customer? Maybe it is used for sports, or it is used at school. Maybe a pupil is taking it with him or her in the morning. So by zooming in, we could say, okay, what are the components of our plastic bottle? And we will take it easy. So maybe we just state bottle made of plastics. For the before use and after use section, we could say, okay, what are you doing before you are doing sports? So we can think about, okay, maybe we are traveling to the sports event, or we are traveling to reach our school. The after use perspective could be, okay, maybe we're ending up in the bathroom after the sports, or we're visiting a special event after we were to school. In case of the product itself, we could say, okay, what is the product doing before we're using it? Maybe we can state here, it is waiting in a retail shop. And the after use perspective, okay, there's something like a waste bag or recycling container. On the component level, we could say, what are the plastic components before the use as a plastic bottle? So we could say here, for instance, thermoforming. And the after use, okay, the components are shredded again, so shredding. The second step in the 9-view screen is now that we can find out which innovation potentials are maybe there between the different objects we had in in a closer view now. For instance, okay, what we can maybe do if we're using our bottle with a quite normal closure we see in the middle, if we need it for sports purpose, okay, we can do a more innovative closure maybe, so that it's easier to use for sports. Or if we think about recycling, we can tell, okay, let's even produce it out of a new plastic. Maybe plastic recaptured from the ocean, and we can have a new marketing scene with it. Or we say, okay, people are traveling a lot, but our bottles are waiting in the retail shop. So what could we do? Maybe we can have special spots where we locate our product. So you got the point. Out of our exploration around of our idea, there are maybe new possibilities for innovation. And out of all these possibilities, we can create new ideas. Now it is necessary to adapt this 9-view screen to our needs within the 3D Central project. So the project idea or the project task in the middle is now a little bit different than a normal product or a normal service. But also here, the zoom in and zoom out perspective works. By zooming out, we could say, how does the idea fit into general development concepts? How does it support EU tasks? Or if we use the zoom in, what are the subtopics? Can the detailed problems be solved? What are the scientific challenges? So a sub-level of our idea or task. Also the before use column works very well. So if we go down from the super system, what was the situation concerning the general problem before? How did we come to our general problem? Or in the system level, what was the initial situation? How is the scientific basis, or what is the technical state of the art? Or even at the subsystem, what kind of detailed problems occurred in the past? How did they affect the performance? And you got the point. For the after-use perspective, it works the same way. So by exploring this new world, this new screen for 3D actions, we will come also to a lot of possibilities to draw again our lines where we say, okay, maybe we can find new innovation potentials between different aspects of here or here. So between our new explored world around our project idea tasks, and out of that we can create or collect ideas, and we strongly recommend it to do that on separate post-its. And on every post-it you state a new idea. Maybe you say here idea 1 or here idea 2, and you simply collect them. So collect every idea you have around that, because the evaluation phase comes a little bit later. So we speak about a deferred evaluation phase. Out of the many ideas we have developed with our 9-view screen, we have to decide which one we want to develop further. For that, we have a very simple portfolio method provided for you on the next slide. As the ideas are all present on post-its, we have now the possibility to create such a portfolio on a flipboard or on a whiteboard or so on. The only thing you have to do is you have to create a portfolio which allows you to distinguish between the development effort and the potential you see in the idea which are on the post-it. If the idea has a very low development effort but has a high potential, we call it a top idea. If the idea has a high development effort but also a high potential, we say this is a question mark. Maybe you can make a further project out of it. If the development effort is low but the potential is also low, these are basic ideas, maybe gap filling for other projects. If we have a high effort and a low potential, we call them poor ideas. We will normally not follow on them. Out of our top ideas, or even the question mark ideas, we can now decide which one we want to have for a further concept phase. The concept phase starts again with a very simple tool you will see on the next slide. It's the so-called business model canvas of Mr. Osterwalder. I guess most of you have heard about the business model canvas from Osterwalder. It is a really nice new way to analyze a business model and to create a concept out of an idea, a concept of a possible future business model, and to think about all the important aspects needed for a business model. And from our part, we will take for our research projects more the left part of this business model canvas, because it's the more analytic form, so the more internal version of the business model. It's about the key partners, activities, resources, but of course the value proposition is very important, and the cost structure. So let's have a look on the next slide. So for the premium ideas, or the ideas you want to further work on it, you can create business model. You can create such canvas concept papers where you think about the value propositions created by this idea for your environment, for your project, for your research task. And by doing that, you can think about which key activities are needed to create your research. Which resources do you need to fulfill it? And in most cases, you will need key partners to really have a full version of your idea. Maybe you need someone who delivers something to you, some know-how, some knowledge, or you need really research partners doing research with you, or in a later phase maybe you have also partners in production and so on. And of course you can think about the cost structure. There it comes to licenses, resources you maybe need at the institute or university, and so on and so on.